Right, listen up. I'm here to talk about it. Welcome to Derry, episode 8. Let's get into it. It was such a fantastic episode. And at the end of it, it has a little name change. So it ends up being It Welcome to Derry, Chapter 1. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. The episode opens with a mysterious fog floating around the town. General Shaw kind of gave like a little teaser about this in the last episode. About to hit the fan, y'all. We head over to Derry High, where a certain somebody has an announcement. That's right, y'all. It's Pennywise, obviously.
Settle down, students. Settle down.
Pretty wild, huh?
Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Just like we saw in the trailer, Pennywise has lured all of the kids to the gym and trapped them there. Dude is not fucking around. Back near the town square, Marge, Ronnie, and Lily are trying to figure out what they're going to do. Meanwhile, they're seeing the fog cross all over Derry, right? They're seeing everything that they know about the town, like from the lookout tower, covered in this like terrible, like bluish gray fog. Outside of the tower, it's all covered with pictures of missing children, including Will.
Shit. It's all the kids from school. It's messing with us, right?
The fog is spreading even further, right? Now, the fog is heading toward the Indian Marsh. So actually, they're getting a lot closer to where they can cage Pennywise. But the radar is showing this over at the military base, and General Shaw sees his plan working, more or less. So he figures he's about to let Pennywise roam free, which, what the fuck? Charlotte finds out what happens to Will. He's gone. She's upset with Lee because, hey, Lee said that he could protect her, protect the family. He said that everything will be fine. And now he's kind of seeing the error of his ways. What are they going to do? They're going to get a little help from their friends, Rose and Taniel. Actually, that would have been like a little interesting like song to have playing in the background. Maybe that's too literal, but I really love the Beatles song. Anyway, whatever. They go to see Rose, go to see Taniel, and they bring Dick along with them. Rose is someone who is an elder within her community, right? So she has a way to kind of silence the voices for Dick so that he doesn't have as much trouble and he can try to focus on where Will might be. So she gives him some really strong ass tea to drink, and all of a sudden, he's like really shining, like for real, for real.
All things in the realm is evil came from it, not all things there are evil.
This tea's gonna shut all these voices up.
Also, the title of this episode is Winter Fire, which if you've seen the movie or if you like read the book, like I thought it was really cool because some of the like lighting and cinematography stuff they do at the end of the episode is really cool. But like, I mean, everything happens for a reason, so duh, whatever. So Marge, Lily, Ronnie trying to get to the trail, or they're trying to get to Pennywise's carriage, right? Marge hits a pothole, on account of she can't see out of one eye and she's driving. Now, inevitably, Lily drops the damn talisman or the dagger, which I'm like, it's a whole thing. What Lily has not taken into account is the fact that it's changing her. It kind of warps her mind a little bit. So think of Gollum from the Lord of the Rings, right? Or I guess in this case, Smeagol, right? Because he was Smeagol first and then he turned into Gollum. It's kind of a situation like that. But luckily, Dick is able to kind of latch on telekinetically with the dagger. Oh, Rose, Dick, Leroy, Taniel. I don't think I missed anybody, did I? They all hop in their van to see if they can get a location on Will, right? He's almost there. Dick's in the back. He's a little faded from the tea, but this is what we were kind of talking about from the beginning of the series. We know he has The Shining, but he's really going to be able to lock on to this in this episode. So watching it was actually really great to see. As a result, Lily and Ronnie and Marge are kind of having a little quarrel over what the dagger is doing, right? They can kind of hear a weirdness in Lily's voice. It kind of is doing something really weird to her. So what they decide to do is to try to share the load as friends. Again, we know that the best way to defeat Pennywise is going to be in a group. So I just thought it was a cute little moment to reassure the three of them that they're in this together and that they gotta find Will and that there's literally no time for them to separate or bicker or fight or all that other crap. They make it a little bit further. They see all of the kids in the deadlight, right? They see just a couple dozen kids behind Pennywise's carriage. And they see Will kind of in the front, which is kind of messed up, but we figured Pennywise would do that. And we see these three little lights on the edge, like the top, center, the left, and the right of the back of his carriage, which to me probably gives a little nod to the deadlights. But they found old boy, so shit's about to get real rough. So I'm just gonna say it. I want to know who does Pennywise's color. That's a really fiery red. Pennywise is about to pounce on Marge and all of a sudden stops in his tracks, right? All of his teeth are now laid bare and he just stops out of nowhere. But Marge doesn't have the dagger, right? It's Dick. So now Dick is inside Pennywise's head. Pennywise flashes back to I guess coming back from when it actually ate him, but he's not sure who he is, right? You've got the ringleader of the circus talking to him while he's laying on the bed, but he's in his not his original Pennywise makeup, in the weird creepy Pennywise makeup, and it's Dick. So now Dick really has a hold of his Shining, and he's trying to keep Pennywise at bay for as long as he can. Will runs over to Leroy to go and make sure he's okay. Leroy is I'm fine for the most part, right? Leroy is able to give his son the dagger, right? Will has a little moment where he says, well, I'm scared. I'm not like you, which is just oh my God, oh my God, I'm really close with my dad. And that's how I feel sometimes because my dad's all big and strong and tall. Anyway, but it was a great moment. And now Will has to be the one who kind of leads the charge. He has to join forces with Marge and Ronnie and Lily to try to get the dagger back into they're going to stab the tree with the dagger. While Pennywise is in his frozen state, General Shaw goes over to kind of more or less talk some shit. He's trying to convince Pennywise that he's free to go. He's given him all this space, which was General Shaw's intention the entire time. And once Pennywise is oh, awake, and he goes, hey, I know you. I know that smell. Because y'all know how Pennywise is with all his smells and stuff like that. His sensors are really strong. And he chops General Shaw's face completely off, which is actually a pretty good way to go, right? I can't imagine a better way for General Shaw to get the fuck out of here. Also, little side note, the way that they did it was really cool and interesting to me because while Dick Halloran is in Pennywise's mind, the men who were with General Shaw, like the armed men, they all kind of siege the sides of the van, right? Just to make sure they don't like kill Dick when they get to him, right? So they literally like shake him to wake him up. And then Pennywise has noticed that his hand is like not the same color as the hand of the ringleader guy. Now Pennywise knows what's going on, and he pulls off the veil, and it's Dick, and it's back. They're all like kind of dressed in their like 1908 like attire. But I thought this was a really cool way because it was a rude awakening for Dick, and it ended up being a rude awakening for Pennywise and General Shaw. So okay, next thing. After they realize that General Shaw is gone, all of the adults kind of pan over to him because now they know Pennywise got him, which is exactly what the fuck General Shaw deserved. But his men don't know what to do. They don't know if they're whose order they're supposed to follow, whatever, right? So Leroy is trying to talk some sense into him. Hey, get him to calm down. Like, no need to shoot. None of that, none of that. Pennywise is literally skipping so like menacingly, so maniacally, like on the opposite side of the kids as they're running, trying to get to the tree. Back at the van, Dick, Hank, and Leroy disarm the gunmen because, like, what are y'all trying to do at this point? And if we don't intervene, Pennywise is going to literally kill all of us. So it's like, stand down. Pennywise is doing his old scary thing, skipping along, being all menacing. Leroy pops him multiple times, right? And then there's this really, really cool scene where Pennywise's head pops out like one of those old school Jack-in-the-Box with a spring for the neck. Really, really cool. But as you can imagine, Leroy shoots him until like his ammo is out, which is like, okay, cool. And he fell down because he got shot in the leg, but whatever. Leroy's doing as much as he can to get those kids to like where they need to go, get them safe, and just honestly save all of Derry. Much like a Hydra, Pennywise keeps on sprouting heads, which is like, all right, cool. Rose starts shooting, doing their thing. And next, we see a really kind of messed up moment where you're just like, holy crap. Pennywise catches Leroy in the deadlights. Oh, God, what are we going to do now? At this point, Pennywise is crawling, trying to get those kids away from that damn tree. Rose and Dick both look just beyond them, right? And they see the corpse of that little girl. You're not gonna believe who steps out from like behind her. It's Rich. So the four kids are trying to get this dagger in the tree, and you see Rich's little body step from behind the dead indigenous girl, and he runs over to help his friends. And that's sweet. Also flips Pennywise the bird, which is like, yeah, fuck you. And Rose pops Pennywise, right? Just as he's sprouting and his fingers turn into claws, his claws turn into talons, his talons and his arms become wings. Just like in that promo pic. Holy crap. So now Pennywise is flying. Flying. Like this intergalactic, demonic, like hawk. Such a cool shot though. Like I was just literally on the edge of my seat. Anyway, just as Pennywise is about to swoop down and grab the kids, they get the dagger in the tree. Now, all of the pillars have been activated, and Pennywise is about to take the big sleep. Well, so we think. Now, they did something with the graphics again, like something that we are familiar with that they've done in the past, but all of like the scary little faces that he's put on, the masks, the veils that Pennywise has put on to scare the kids, they're all coming undone and they're all peeling back. So it was actually really, really well done. And the last little like image that we see, or the last mask that Pennywise put on, was the like demon flying baby from episode 1 that killed Maddie. But yeah, Pennywise is like fucking done. You see those dead lights brighten up until they go out. He kind of incinerates, and then the entity scurries back to the wood. For all this, they all go to Rich's funeral. Really sad. I can't believe Rich is gone. I'm still upset about that. But a really, really lovely little way to end the episode. Ended on a high note. Well, kinda. We remember how episode 7 ended, where Ingrid got sent to Jupiter Hill. Juniper Hill, that's what it's called. Guess who comes back at the very end of the episode? That's right, folks. We see like the name change, which I thought was so cool. They change it to It, Welcome to Derry, Chapter 1. So we go back to Juniper Hill and we see Ingrid Kersh like being admitted. And initially I was thinking, okay, there's going to be like a red balloon that like floats by, but not quite, because 26 years later, 1988, we see an old Ingrid painting like the sleeve of Pennywise. And from what I could make out of it, the sleeve, like the colors of the sleeve that she was painting was from Tim Curry's version of Pennywise, which was like a cute little detail. And we hear screaming from a couple rooms down. We see someone has hung herself. It's really terrible. One of the patients there was led by something crazy, something maniacal. And the last name is Marge. And like, if you guys know, if you know, you know, but if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, who do we see in tears? A young Beverly Marsh. And Ingrid says her little, like, you know what they say about Derry. No one that dies in Derry is ever really dead. Which is just like, holy shit. Actually got the original actress who played the young Beverly Marsh in It Chapter 1, and the actress that played the older version of Ingrid Kersh in It Chapter 2. Really cool, really great episode, really great end. I'm so excited. As far as I've seen, no official season 2 yet, but I'm still like very excited to like entertain the possibility, because again, the ratings for the show have been really incredible. And like I said, I mean, all signs point to a season 2. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any feedback, throw it at me. Gotta go. Bye.